Hi there everyone. Today I'm going to be discussing the how I built this shed, this 10 by 12 feet, 120 square feet wood storage shed from beginning to the end. So the first thing I did was I had to survey the site, basically make sure to have enough space and where everything was going to be placed, the dimensions, the window, where the windows would go, the size of the door. So you can see all the parts on the floor. Now this is me laying down the foundation. I had to make up for the downslope, so some of those you can see the wood elevated towards the bottom to make up for the downslope. So that was needed. And now the flooring has been laid. The OSB subfloor has been laid, and I made sure that the spacing is correct as far as the nails. The nails are between 6 to 8 inches apart. And now I'm doing the framing of the wall. So you can see here I have the gusset in place. You can see the for the rafters, and then the same thing here. You see all the other rafters are in place. I used a total of 7, 2 on the end caps, and then in the middle you have 5, all spaced out 24 on center, not 16 on center, which is what I did for the subfloor. And now you can see the rest of the wall. So what I did was I framed it. I placed the siding on the wood or on the frame while still laid on the floor. I'll get in a little bit into that later, but you can see all the other walls in place. So I got the 4 walls, the 2 side walls, the back wall, and then of course the front wall on the floor. So now I'm doing the siding, to plywood siding. Like I said, I did it on the floor while the frame was still laid on the floor. That way, once I put it up, I don't have to do this because it overhangs and it's harder to do that once the wall is stood up. So now I'm standing up the walls. I started with the back wall. You can see the stand. I had one laying on one direction, did the wood laying on the other side, laying in the other direction. For the proper balance, I did the same thing with the front wall, to make sure that if the were to get tipped over by the wind, one direction or the other, then there's proper support. And now you have the third wall going up, where you can see the rafters on top of the sidewall, because it's going to be a downward slope towards the front and towards the back. So it's not to the side, but it's actually towards the front, and you can see where the windows would go. I'm gonna cut that out in the future as we go through the steps. And now the fourth wall has been put up. So now all 4 walls are in place, and if you also look up top, you can see that the rafters also have been put in place. Like I said, they're 24 on center, which means every 24 inches, they're 24 inches apart. And here's an area view of me putting up the sheathing, making sure that the walls are in place. Now I'm cutting out the window using my circular saw. I used a combination of circular saw, and then for the little bit that's left, I had to use a manual saw to just kind of cut it out. And once I did that, you can see the wall fall out, or the windows fall out. And so now the window is in place, and you can see the construction process going forward. And at this point, the sheathing, the rest of the sheathing is being put in place. And so I have the entire surface covered, the entire roofing covered as far as the sheathing goes. Here I'm talking about the drip edge. Just making sure a few things are kept in mind when you do the drip edge. You want to make sure that the side that flips, the edge is correctly placed, so that when water comes down through it, yeah, you can see it when you zoom in. So when water comes down, it's been tipped away rather than getting all over the siding and the fascia. And now here I'm going up to put up the underlayment, or some people call it ice and water. So I put up the underlayment, which goes right on top of the sheathing. Since you have many layers protecting the shed from rain. Sheathing being the first one, underlayment being the next one, and then of course after that is the shingles, which will come up in a little bit. So here I'm just talking about the things that you need to remember when you do this, which is when you come down slope, you want to make sure that the piece that comes from the top overhangs the bottom piece. So in other words, it overlaps coming down rather than the bottom piece going over. You want to make sure the top is over, just like that. So when water is coming down, it's coming from the top and it's going over it, rather than water going underneath it. So at this point, the underlayment is in place, and we're getting ready to move on to the next phase and to the next steps, which is to now lay my starter strip. You need your starter strip on the perimeter, and so you need it along all the corners of the wall. The reason for that is once you start to lay the shingles, there is a kind of a foundation that's underneath it that you can follow. You can call it a footprint. And now I'm on top of this roof, putting up the shingles and making sure that the shingles are properly placed. And now that the shingles are in place, now I'm doing this. I'm sealing the ridges. So the ridge is where the corner, the top corner where the triangle meets up top. So you have to cover those separately using a sealer ridge, so that's what's happening here with my roofing nailer. And now I'm just kind of doing a quick recap of what I've accomplished so far, which is the doors in place, and you have one door in place, the other one is on the floor. And the next step is to get ready, and now the door's in place, and we need to put up the ramp, because one of the main reasons why this shed was being built was to make sure that the riding mower can be parked inside of it. And to be able to do that, I need the ramp so I can get inside. So this ramp it's 4 feet wide and about 32 inches long. So I'm building that, and I'm using wood screw. So I'm not using a nail gun or anything like that. I'm just using a wood screw, it's less messy. It doesn't split, and the screws are meant to drill right through. And now you see the finished product, which is a beautiful 10 by 12, 120 square feet wood storage shed that is big enough to accommodate a riding mower, as well as some other components, which as I do a quick tour of the interior, you will see what's inside of it. So in here you can see now my riding mower is parked inside. Thank you for watching this video, and if you like this video and you want something like this, feel free to call 301-232-3724 or visit www.nayalof.com. Take care.